How many times have you lied to yourself and said, you know what, I'll be happy when fill in whatever blank you want to? Well, if you're like me, then probably a lot. And yet, it never seems to quite work out, does it? It always seems to be just out of reach, regardless of how many of our arbitrary goals we reach. It feels like it's some kind of sinister plot of trying to achieve happiness through some achievement-based methodology that just always leaves us feeling empty and void of any kind of meaning or fulfillment in the ways that we're hoping to be fulfilled and find meaning in what we're searching for. It's a lie that we somehow convince ourselves is probably true, where we're just chasing things all the time. And I think this lie is perpetuated by social media and by the culture we live in, with all of the chasing your dreams and following your passions. And, everyone's chasing happiness because of course we are. Everybody wants to be happy. Hopefully none of you out there are wanting to not be happy. And so it just perpetuates this cycle where we feel lost and frustrated because we're never able to achieve the very thing we're after, even though a lot of times we feel like we're setting the bar of what that happiness is going to come from. I've spent so much time in this mistaken mindset, and I've wasted so much time trying to achieve things, and yet it never works out. At every level, there's another level that could be achieved. At every raise, there's more money needed. At every promotion, there's a job just ahead of that. And it goes on and on and on like that. I think the reality is that there's something beautiful in the chase. There's something exciting about chasing down that goal, right? The process of getting there is exciting, and it's a big buildup. And then one day you reach the goal and you get that rush of adrenaline of when you feel like you've made it. And I think where the problem comes in is that next day sucks, right? The next day you've already achieved it, right? So now what? It's like when you climb to the mountain and you get on the top, it's great. But then you got to realize you got to crawl back down that mountain. And I think that's what we're struggling with in our careers, with this mindset of, oh, I'll be happy when, is that ultimately maybe you are happy when, but then all the adrenaline drains off of that thing the second you accomplish it. And now we need to look for, well, what's next, right? And ultimately, we're never as happy as we think we're gonna be. And I think the crash right after achieving it actually makes you feel less happy than you probably really are if you really could take time and look back and in hindsight view what you've accomplished. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, success without any joy or peace or fulfillment is really just slightly more enjoyable than burnout. It's more or less the same kind of idea. We're just working and working and working, and at the end of the day, it feels pointless. So is it really success if that's the case? And there's a reason. There's a reason why it doesn't work. And it's because we're constantly moving the goalposts. If every time we achieve something, we're moving to a new target, then of course we're never fulfilled because the mission's never over. We're always on to the next thing, chasing the next thing that's going to make us happy this time. And obviously, like the last times, it doesn't make us happy, but that doesn't stop us from resetting those goalposts. And the second part of that is that expectations rise with achievement. As you achieve more, your expectations elevate as well, making it harder to reach the same level of accomplishment in terms of how we feel than it was the last time. So if you want a promotion, you get a promotion, the next promotion won't feel as exciting because you've already got the last promotion. So it's almost like we have to keep upscaling what we're after to feel fulfilled even when we are accomplishing our goals. And finally, the reality is that our source of validation is off. We're looking for validation and happiness in worldly things, in our jobs, our promotions, and the things that we're chasing, when ultimately the real source of validation is internal, right? It's God, it's spirituality, it's what our real calling and our purpose is in life, which is never going to be your job or some arbitrary accomplishment. God didn't create us to chase a job title or to chase dollars and cents. He created us for more than that. And if our goals are ultimately in the world, we'll only ever have happiness that the world provides, which is never real happiness. It's not true joy. It's not real success in the sense of, over the course of your life, have you been a successful person? No, just, oh, I made a lot of money, or I got the title I wanted. Not real success. Now, there are some things that will work, but I think we have to change our focus. We need to start being happy when we reach some kind of level of internal satisfaction. We've launched our kids off into the world and they've become successful, normal human beings, or we've bettered our situation by getting out of, whatever struggles in life we're in, or God saw us through a tough time and now it's time, right? It's those kind of things that we need to start looking for. And then we have to start practicing new habits. Practice gratitude. What are you grateful for? What are the great things that are happening in your life? And how often are you focused on those things? Start building more relationships, better relationships that aren't tied to work or to accomplishment, but just good, genuine friendships that help you grow and develop. And then lastly, work in peace, right? Don't work for peace, work in peace. Have peace in what you're doing. Don't work to try to find peace. Find peace in yourself and then take that to work with you. Really and truthfully, happiness is not something that we need to wait for. I think we can find happiness right now. I think we just have to look in the right places. And I think the longer we look and the more we look in the right places, the more happiness we'll find. And then we can stop this crazy chase of all these other things that we think are going to make us happy, that ultimately leave us feeling lost, feeling confused about why we're not happy, and ultimately feeling discontent and dissatisfied in our jobs, in our lives, in our relationships. So that's what I think we need to do. Shift the focus away. Quit chasing what's going to make you happy and find happiness now. Find it right now. So if you enjoyed this video or you found it helpful, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.